So today's a very exciting day. We are currently on the 4th of June, or it is currently the 4th of June, and we are 2 days away from flying out to Barcelona, and then 3 days away from boarding Valiant Lady for a 7-night cruise with Virgin Voyages to Spain, Italy, and France. I'm very excited. But what's made me even more excited for the holiday today is that our cabin room has been assigned today because we booked the cheapest balcony cabin available when we booked, so a lock-it-in rate, and with that it means you can get your balcony cabin anywhere on the ship. So it might be an obstructed view, it might be over a noisy venue, you might end up right at the front of the ship, right at the back of the ship, you have no clue. And for weeks and weeks and weeks I've been checking the Virgin app multiple times a day to see if the cabin has been assigned, and it hasn't, or it wasn't until this morning. So we've been given room 8122A. So I don't know where that is in the ship. All I know is that it's going to be on deck 8, which does cause me some nervousness because obviously deck 7 is kind of the heart of the ship, where you've got lots of music venues, and so there might be some noise. And there are lifeboats, so we might be obstructed. So let's see where we have been given. 8122. Oh, we've been given a central sea terrace. That's very exciting. So we've been given a central sea terrace, which was not expected. So it's going to be unobstructed. What's below us would be... It looks as if we are going to be above the pizza place. I can go with the pizza place. So yeah, that's very exciting. Talia the future, why don't you go and do a cabin tour? Welcome to the Valiant Lady 2.0. I'm very pleased with this room. We are in room 8122A, which we booked as the cheapest sea terrace available when we booked it on a lock-it-in rate, and we've been given a central sea terrace with an unobstructed view. Look at that. What I'm also impressed about, so the room that we've booked, it is a central sea terrace. The 2 previous voyages that we've done were also central sea terraces, but they had a dreadful mirror in the room. But look at this one. You get to see what you properly look like when you get ready. So, big fan of that. And just like that, I'm back in the UK. I say just like that. It's been a month since we got home, and I've not had time to film the last part of this vlog. So let me kind of give my final thoughts on the Valiant Lady 2.0 lock-it-in rate room and whether I think it was worth it. It absolutely was. We got such a good deal on the cruise because we booked a lock-it-in rate. The overall cost of the cruise without a bar tab was just under £2,000. And it wasn't just our room that was in a great location. There was 8 of us on this cruise over 4 cabins, and all 4 of us had a lock-it-in rate room on the same deal, and we all got an unobstructed view central sea terrace, which we were just all so lucky. Not everyone who booked a lock-it-in rate room was as lucky as we were. I saw this post on Facebook on day 1 or 2 of the cruise where the person was complaining about the room that they'd booked. They thought they'd booked an unobstructed central sea terrace room, but it turned out they'd booked a lock-it-in rate room and they got a lifeboat in front of them. I love this room so much that I would probably say that if we were to do another Virgin cruise at any point in the future, I would probably try and book this specific room if I wanted to pay for booking this specific room. The location was fantastic. At the start of this vlog, I said that the room was over the pizza place. Actually, we were further to the left of the pizza place, probably over the social club or the arcade, but no noise travelled through and we didn't hear a thing. And because we were just 1 flight of stairs above the central hub of the ship on decks 6 and 7, the location was absolutely perfect. I highly recommend the room that we stayed in. I'd highly recommend taking the risk on booking a lock-it-in rate room if you have no specific requirements as to why you would want a room in a specific location. I say that knowing that my next cruise in October is the cheapest cabin available on the ship full stop, which is on the Celebrity Apex sailing out of Southampton for 11-night Canaries cruise. On that cruise, we have booked the cheapest cabin possible at all, and that's a lock-it-in rate interior cabin on the Apex. And it'll be the first time I've ever stayed in an interior cabin, and I'll be honest, I am slightly nervous about not having a window, at least a window. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I might like it. It might end up being my new favourite room. We will only see, and you only know these things when you try them. If you want to see what happens on that cruise, if you want to see what happens on my future explorations, hit like, follow, subscribe. But until then, bye for now.